Hi guys, welcome to the Yarn and You Girl podcast. I'm Janine, also known as Yarn and You Girl, and this is my channel where I talk about what I'm knitting. Also, sometimes what I'm cross-stitching or crocheting or sewing, but mostly it's what I'm knitting. So thank you so much for joining me today. It is October 28th, and I'm coming to you from my home in Vancouver, Washington. I have a few hours to myself today, which is really great. I have been taking care of my mom, as most of you guys know. If you were watching the last episode, you know what's been going on with her. She cracked a few bones in her ankle and a bone in one of her kneecaps, and I have been taking care of her for the last month probably. I am off of work still for pretty much another week. I go back next Wednesday. So her body is healing. Her mind obviously is not. That's just something that once that disease state kind of comes on, it does not get better. You cannot reverse Alzheimer's or dementia. You can only slow the progression. And I feel like right now she has very minimal short-term memory, and it's a little bit of a struggle, but we're getting through it. And I did want to say thank you so much to everyone who commented on the last video. I really appreciate all your support. I love knowing that there's this community out there that has kind of got my back and helping me out when I'm, having a tough time. So thank you everyone so much. So it is Monday, October 28th, which I said already, but I am coming to you today in particular to tell you that in a week, the cabled and bobbled pattern will be available for purchase on Ravelry. This is the collaboration project I did with the fiber company. I kind of been working on it all summer, and then it's finally publishing on the 4th, which is just next Monday. So look for these. I will put a link also in my Instagram account, which is @yarnandyou, for the Ravelry page where these will be published. And if you need some fiber company Road to China Light, I do have a little bit of it in my shop as well. So that's the yarn that was used for the pattern, and it's a lovely like baby alpaca and camel and silk and cashmere blend. Oh, super super soft and cozy and perfect, like elegant mitts, I think. But also really lightweight and easy to still work with without feeling like they're very bulky on your body. I've done this intro. I always do this. I always end up doing the intro like 4 or 5 or even 10 different times. Feels like 10 today. So I can't remember exactly what I've already talked about and what I haven't talked about. So I apologize if I have repeated anything this morning. It's a little, but I have a couple hours to myself today, and I decided that I would get a podcast out so that I could share with you some of the other things that are going on. So yes, these are going to be published on November 4th. They're called Cabled and Bobbled. And I also have another design that I am working on, which you guys have seen a little bit of the progress, but if you saw my horrible good morning Instagram story, I'm really bad. I don't do stories very much on Instagram. And I have a hard time when it's live and running live. I like to do the whole, you get a couple takes, you can kind of work it out a little bit. For me, on the podcast, usually it takes me a couple tries to start kind of getting the ball rolling and feeling like I'm on a roll, if that makes sense. And that Instagram live stories thing, I feel so awkward when I'm on there. But I wanted to share with you guys like the struggle that I had with the sweater, because I had this idea in my head, a design idea, and I got the entire body of the sweater knit, and it was hideous. It did not work out really well. I mean, the design itself was very beautiful, but the placement on the sweater was not good. And because it's such an oversized sweater, it pulled in at the hip and waist area in such a way, even when I went up needle sizes, in such a way, and then like it puckered, and it was just bad, guys. So I had to rip it all out. So I ripped it all out. I kind of backtracked a little bit and thought about what I wanted to do and how I wanted this sweater to be. And I came up with an idea, and I think I really, really like the way this one turned out. So I need to make another one because the one that I made is a little too big for me. I think I was going for oversized, which it is, but I went like extra oversized. I think I made like a 52-inch chest, which the sweater, the idea behind the sweater maybe is like 10 inches of positive ease. Maybe like 12 to 15 if you really want to do that. But this one, for 52 inches, and my chest is like a 34, that's like 18 inches of positive ease. So it's pretty big, but I do love it, and I will make a second one. And I've already kind of worked out all the numbers and gotten most everything down on paper. So I'm almost ready to have it test, which is really cool because this one came together a lot faster for me than some of the other sweater ideas I've had. You guys know I did that one with the turtleneck, the blue one that I mean, it was beautiful, but I really struggled with the numbers and making sure that pattern worked out. So it kind of made my head hurt a lot just trying to work out all the numbers. But this one, since I got that new book, Knitting from the Top, I think it's called, it's really helped me realize sweater construction, how the math is supposed to work. So that's been very helpful. So this one is a drop shoulder sweater construction. And like I said, I made a size that's like pretty big. I think I will make I think I made there's 9 sizes for the pattern. And I made like the 4th size, and I'll probably make size 2 next time because the 4th size for me is just a little too big. But again, it's made to have some positive ease. And this one's going to be so cozy and perfect for that camping sweater. The wool is Brooklyn tweed. It's shelter, and I did it in this first color is Amaranth. And then I decided when I was pulling back all that cabled work that's at the bottom, I decided I wanted to do something a little simpler, but also enough detail that it would be intriguing and attractive to a lot of different ranges. So it can be a very unisex sweater. There's no waist shaping or anything. The sweater construction is from the top down. And I think that the color work is very gender neutral so anybody, men or women, this sweater would be perfect for anybody, and it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about as far as the color work pattern that I put on the bottom. I'm a little short of space here because I moved my camera around to see if you guys wanted the wall of yarn versus my other room behind you. I'm still working out this new area where I am. But for now, this is where I am. And I'm going to stand up and try not to like bonk the table or bonk the thing behind me. Okay, so like I said, it's pretty big on me. But this is the color work pattern at the bottom. And I did it also on the sleeves. You can really see it a little bit better on the sleeves there. And it actually starts with Embers. So I picked up some contrasting, here, I'll sit now. Some contrasting yarn, also Brooklyn tweed shelter. So this one is Embers, and then I have Hayloft, Sap, and Tartan as my additional contrast colors. So, and I kind of like that. It gave sort of a subtle rainbow feel as well as kind of fall. I felt like it had good fall colors. I did feel like these particular two, the Hayloft and the Sap, the Hayloft is the closest yellow that they had, and the Sap is like a nice green, but together the contrast isn't as high as I would have liked. Maybe it was that particular dye lot, because I've seen Hayloft that's more golden, and this one kind of is has more of a green undertone. But I still love it. Like, I love the color work. I love how that turned out. Like I said, the sweater is meant to be oversized. I am very, very thrilled with the way that the color work kind of worked out. It's just a little bit of regular stranded with a little bit of like a slip stitch color work row. And I will be looking for testers for that. So if anybody is interested, please comment or send me a message on Instagram. Again, it's at Yarn and You. And just let me know you're interested in testing the new sweater pattern I have. I don't really have a name for it yet. I could use a name. Maybe, you know, we'll have a competition. Maybe I'll do a giveaway. I haven't done a giveaway in forever. Okay, I'm going to do a giveaway. I have prizes, but I don't have anything in particular picked out. Like I have stuff that I have been gifted or yarn that I would love to share. So how about we do this? I have not done a whole lot over on the Ravelry group in a while, but I will go on to the Ravelry group, which is the Yarn and You Girl podcast group, and I will post a thread to kind of give me your name suggestions for the sweater pattern. I'm not going to say that the person who picks, well, okay, let me rephrase. Let me start over. The person who I like the pattern idea name the most will get a prize, but then I will also give a prize to a random person in that thread. So even if I don't pick your name, you still have a chance to win. I'll just do like a random number generator and draw for that. And I have, like I said, I have a bunch of Clark and Elle yarn that I got as a gift from her. I purchased a bunch of, like, one skein of her movie themed yarn, one of her installations for that. And I won like this grand prize drawing or something. And I've got like 10 skeins of yarn from her, and they're beautiful. So I'm probably gonna do some of that as part of the prize. I also have a bar of wool wash from Woolen & Co. She's up in Seattle, and she gifted me one extra bar when I made a purchase on her website. So I'll put together some things and we'll do a little prize. How does that sound? So I need a name for this sweater. I need some help. And then I also need testers. So if you want, you can put the name. You can also put in that thread that you're interested in testing it. I don't have a deadline or anything yet for it. It will probably be, you get a couple months to knit the sweater and that kind of thing. It's in Brooklyn Tweed shelter, but any worsted weight yarn would work. I think it'd be really cool, and I was trying to figure out if there's some colors that I could do a second one in that would be like a DK mixed with a mohair. I think that'd be really, really fun to do that. But I'm trying to work out some colors with my DK and then just have like a continuous color of mohair kind of stranded throughout. I think that would make a very pretty sweater. It would give it a little bit of, it would just like level it up a bit, I think, throw a little mohair in there, a little bit of fun. So if you're interested in helping me get this kind of worked out, that would be great. Again, I will put a link to the Ravelry group page and the thread. Like I said, I haven't done a lot over there in a while, so it's been really quiet. It is, it's there though. I just haven't done anything. So now's my chance to kind of get back into it, and I feel like I haven't done a giveaway in a while, so it's also good to kind of share that with you guys. So that is my one and only finished object this episode, basically. I have a couple other things that I am working on, and one of them is a project that I started last Christmas season. I got an advent from Cat Sandwich Fibers. I did her like 12-day Christmas advent one, and it came with like 12 minis and a giant, regular 100 gram skein of fingering weight yarn. And I just decided, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with all the minis, so I decided to make just a seed stitch cowl or scarf. And the last time you guys saw it, I was like halfway through here. I've worked on a little bit of the, like I've added a new color. I'm stranding it together with some mohair to give it a little bit of soft and swishy. It is what I've been working on upstairs we have a new entertainment room upstairs. So we used to watch all of our movies downstairs in the living room. We used to kind of do everything downstairs in the living room, which is great. But I mean, I was working out down there, so I had weights everywhere. You know, it just got kind of cluttered. So we decided to, when the boys moved into their separate rooms, we made like an entertainment room upstairs. We added, you know, big screen TV, and that's where I can do my workouts now, so I don't have to keep pulling weights out and about down here. And so when we go upstairs to watch a movie, which is the kids want to draw all the curtains and they want it to be super dark, and I can't knit on anything that really is complicated, so I do get a little bit of a light. And then I've been working on this, and my husband and I have been watching the John Wick movies. I had not seen any of them, so we watched 1 and 2, and I have to say 1 really good, 2 and now I have number 3, which I hear is even like better than all of them. So I haven't watched number 3 yet. We're probably going to be doing that maybe tonight, which would be kind of cool. Maybe in this week. My dad had all the first 2 movies, and then we borrowed those, and then he just bought himself the 3rd movie. They watched it, and then he lent it to me. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Maybe watching that tonight. So I'll probably get a little more knitting on this. Okay, that's just my spark. Yeah, my like caffeine energy, because I need it. So I don't know what any of the colorways were. I don't think she actually had colorways listed for these, but I've got, this is the current one, and then I think I need to, and then the next one I was going to add is this one. So there's lots of these reddish pink ones, and then I am using, this is my mohair, it is the Freshwater Pearl colorway. And it's just this lovely, like, very, very pale pink. Not white, but like pale, pale pink. I like it a lot. I think it would be really good. This is the color I was thinking of stranding through if I did a one of these sweaters in my yarn. That would be pretty cool. So, but I'm still working on colors. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time coming up with colors. But anyway. So that's what I've been working on there. I'm doing that. It's just, there's no pattern. It's just a seed stitch, which is a knit one, purl one, repeat on an odd number of stitches, back and forth and back and forth. And then I'll probably just seam them together at the end. I am using about half of the mini, so I might make some socks with the other half. I've talked about that. I don't know. I just really need to get that going again. I've had to kind of take a little bit of a break from some of the knitting because my elbow's been bothering me, and this is so weird because it's always usually my right arm or right forearm that bothers me when I knit. I'll get like tendonitis here, but now it feels like I've got this ouchie like right in the elbow here, and I can't tell if it's from knitting. I feel like I'm not like wonking my elbow around a lot when I'm knitting, even when I try to change up my style. So I don't know if it's like holding the position, like bent position for a while. So I'm just trying to give it a little bit of a break. I don't know if that's it or not. It's, you know, one of those things. So I am going to talk about my next project, which I think I can share. I texted her this morning. It's not a published pattern yet, but I texted her this morning to see if I could share it on my podcast, and she hasn't got back to me yet. So I'm hoping that she says yes, because I am going to share it right now. If she doesn't say yes, I will just like cut it out or something. But I think that she's probably going to be okay. with me saying yes, or with me showing it. So my friend Naomi, she has done my tech editing for me, and she also writes patterns. I've talked about her Fitnilla socks before. She has this pattern of socks, and she's calling them Dragonology. They're not available yet on Ravelry, but she and I are working together to come up with some color combinations for this pair of socks. And right now it's a toe up, and we thought we would come up with colors that kind of were dragon themed. Let me close out my phone. Sorry, guys. So I came up with a few different ones. So I have these two. This is like the water dragon or ice dragon colorway. So I have a navy, like a dark navy, and then this like tonal, slightly speckled blue guy here. Very, very pretty. And the socks are worked from the toe up, and they start like this. This is about as far as I've gotten. And she made these cute little stitch marker dragon claw with a pearl stitch marker. I've gotten about halfway up the foot, and there's multiple different sizes. And then when you get past the heel, then you do kind of this two-color window pane style knit. So you've got the striping here, which is kind of fun, and it's just vertical stranding, so it has no floats or anything on the back. It's kind of intarsia-ish. So I'm giving it a try here and trying out some of the colorways, but I do really like how that is working out. I like the tonal on that blue quite a bit. And I've come up with a couple different colorways. She really liked this one color. Oh, sorry, I keep knocking my table, and I'm bonking things. So she really liked this one color that I had done. Again, I bonked. Sorry, guys. This is really bad. So I tried to come up with a copycat version of that. It's like this tiger's eye kind of colorway, and then I thought this gray would go really well with it. And then I came up with like your green dragon, which this is like it's coming out more washed out, that lighter one, but it's a lot brighter. And then the last one is kind of that same dark color with like a reddish orange contrast. So these are 50-gram skeins. They will be kits and stuff available for these coming up. I haven't done any kind of, we haven't finalized, you know, the time that it's being published or anything like that. She's still working on the pattern, and I'm still working on kits, and we'll probably end up doing some kind of pre-order type of thing. She and I are talking about maybe putting a bag together with it or something. We're not really sure, but definitely there'll be like the stitch markers with the dragon claw, and then the like some light bulb style stitch markers as well, the pattern, the yarn, that kind of thing. So it's very fun though. Nice sock, pretty easy to do. This stranded part I thought would be complicated, but it's not at all. It's really, and I'm looking forward to working on it some more now that I've gotten the sweater finished up and sort of ready to go. I also pulled out my cross stitch that I haven't worked on in forever because I really need to finish this like soon. So this is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It was last year's Into the Jungle theme stitch along mystery. It was like a mystery. Every month you got a new square and you worked on that square. Well, I'm like over a year behind. So this is the last square that I have to do. And it's the little leopard. And once I finish him, I can do the border around the top and the bottom, and then I'll be done. So, you know, only a year behind, but that's okay. This has been good to kind of help with my arm, make things a little bit easier, kind of change things up a little bit. You know how it goes. As far as other works in progress, I don't really have anything. I mean, I have other projects that are hanging around. I don't have anything else that I've really been working on. I do have some acquisitions to share with you guys today. One of them is a gift I got. So Leslie from the Naughty Knitwits, she was going through her bags and she decided to share some of her bags with a couple of us who she's friends with. And I picked this one. This is a Bags by Awesome Granny, and I love it. I already have one of hers. It's the same size. This one that I keep all my cross stitch in. And I remember, like, I've always liked this one as well. So I really enjoy her bags. I like how big they are. I also like that it came with a little, like a zippy bag for notions and stuff. So that is an acquisition I got. So a new to me. So thank you, Leslie, so much for sharing. You guys saw I did purchase some yarn for the sweater. So here is the Sap color in the Brooklyn Tweed. And then I have, that's the Hayloft. I have Embers. And I have Tartan. And these are, I barely used, any yarn for those. So I'm thinking either my next version, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to get the Narwhal color, which is this gray, marled gray, light gray. And then either pairing it with some different ones, because, why not? Maybe some purples. I saw this one girl did a swatch on Instagram that was like a light purple, a dark purple, and the gray, and it was really, really pretty, and it was all Brooklyn Tweed. And I thought, oh, that would be kind of nice to do like a gray sweater with a purple accents. So I might go to the yarn store in the area that carries Brooklyn Tweed tomorrow and see about picking up some more, because I do need to start another one. Again, I'm going to make like one that's a little bit smaller. I like this one a lot, but it ended up a little bit bigger than I thought. And obviously, I gauge swatched, of course, because I'm writing a pattern and designing it for you guys as well. But I think I have a hard time understanding, like, how big is the sweater going to be on me. So I just think I need a little bit smaller, like maybe the 44-inch chest one or something like that. So I think that's either 2 sizes lower than this one. So it'll work out. I think it'll work great. I'm looking forward to making another one. It was really fun. And the color pattern, I think, was such a good idea. I really like the way that it turns out. I might write the pattern to go up a needle size for the color work, because I feel like maybe it went in a little bit, because color work's a little bit, constricting, but it's not as bad as the cable. So I think the next one I'll do a smaller size. It's a size 7 for the body and a size 4 for the cuffs and the hem and the neckline and everything. And then I think I'll do maybe a size 8 just on the body color work. I don't think I needed it on the arm color work because I don't feel like it went up that much, but I think I went a little tighter on the body on this one. So I might go suggest that in the pattern as well, to go up a needle size in the color work section if you are a tighter knitter like I am sometimes. The other thing I got recently and I'm very excited about is, where did you go? Where did I put you? I thought it's on the floor. So a while back, there was a Kickstarter. You guys have probably all seen this, for knitting the card game. And it finally came. It is so fun. It's like Ticket to Ride for knitting. If you've played Ticket to Ride, it's very much like that game. You are trying to complete projects. You have to collect the right number and color of cards to complete those projects. And it's just a beautifully well done game. So I'm going to kind of show you guys a little bit of it. I think she might be doing another reprint of it if you did not get a chance to get the game. This is your yarn store playing board. Has a space for all your different cards and then your yarn cards. And all the yarn and all the patterns in the game are actually real patterns that you could be, and real yarn that you could get on, you know, from the websites of these people. So, like for example, this one is Lavender by the Bay by Cat Sandwich Fibers. And then you have one, this one is Leeward Sunset by Pineapple Yarn. You have New Jeans and Pearl by Ovis, etc. Let's see. Let's see if there's oh, This Is It by Desert Vista Dye Works. This one is Rapture by On the Round. So really pretty, well done cards. The Hippo by Lemonade Shop, or Toxic Hippo by Lemonade Shop. So that's just an example of some of the yarn store cards that you can collect while you're playing the game. Then not only do you have cool yarn store cards, but you have these fun pattern cards too. So you're trying to work these patterns, like for this one, Trembling by Anna Maltz. And we have Tolt River Cowl by Andrea Rangel. So those are some of the projects that you're supposed to be doing. We have like your Jelly Roll Socks. That's by Mara Catherine Briner. Let's see. There's just some really fun ones. Different color work ones I've never even heard of. This one was a popular one for a while, the Beekeeper Cardigan by Marie Green. So fun patterns there as well. And then not only that, this is what I like most about this game is it has these little community cards. And they can help you gain extra points or make like your opponent lose points or get stuck somewhere, things like that. So for example, like you could put this is a misplaced project bag. So it says, oh shoot, it says do not advance this project for 2 weeks. So you can put this on an opponent's work in progress and then they can't work that project for 2 weeks. You can do, like they have these wild skein Ravelry D-stash, which means this is equivalent to 2 skeins, wild card skeins of your choice. So pretty much anything you want. Then this is the best one. Take a sick day, knit all day in bed and finish one entire whip. That's kind of cool. Then you have like partake in an epic procrastinating session. You get so much done. Advance all whips 1 week ahead. Cat attack. You know, you can't work on your project for 2 weeks. Just other things. Just really fun. This one, Forgot to Swatch, Frog, and Start All Over Again. So you can put this on an opponent who's almost finished with a project. And they have to go all the way back to the beginning. So there's some really fun ones in here. It's a cute, fun game. I have played now twice. Excuse me, I keep dropping things. I played twice. The first time the kids and I played with Jordan, my oldest, and I don't think we were playing correctly. We did not have the right understanding about, you can cast on up to 4 projects total at a time. You can only cast on 1 project per turn, and you can only work one of those projects each week. And what we were doing in the beginning was advancing all of our projects forward a week every turn, which made the game go by really fast and didn't really give you enough time to really enjoy the game. So once we figured out that, oh, you're not supposed to work all of your yarn projects at one time, the game, you know, you were able to get into the community cards, use the community cards a little bit more, actually felt like you were playing. So the second game I played with both my boys, and Jordan and I tied for finished object points. And if you tie for finished object points, the tiebreaker is whoever has the most yarn cards in their stash, which is cards in their hand. And if you tie there, which we did, we each had 2 yarn cards in our hands left over. If you tie there, then it's whoever has the largest yarn stash in real life. So I will always win the double tiebreakers in my house because nobody else has any yarn at all. So it was kind of, I felt like I cheated a little bit, but you know, it was still really fun. It was fun to play. So, and part of the Kickstarter that I signed up for, not only just the game, but I got the little enamel pins and stickers. My stickers have gone on the water bottle already. I posted a picture on Instagram, and you guys may have seen it there. But this is one of the enamel pins. It's a little cat with a ball of yarn. And then you have your frog stitch marker, enamel pin. And then the last one is, I think it's Moon Rover is the company who is helped them to print the game or create the game, and so it's their moon logo. Super cute enamel pins. I will put those on one of my project bags somewhere. And yeah, that's all I got today, guys. It's been fun. I think I would love to find some actual knitters to play this game with. So, and I think that we might be getting together with a couple people and play later in the week. So we'll see. I am also, as far as real life goes, that's all I have for crafting stuff. As far as real life goes, I mentioned a little bit at the beginning, my mom's body is healing fairly well. Her mental status obviously is not, but she's getting well enough that I am going to be going back to work next Wednesday. I told my manager I can only be working part-time, and right now is one of those times where part-time people are being bumped up and being used more hours than they want to. And so I've said, no, I can only work like no more than 3 days, because I still need to be able to go over there and give her a shower, make sure she stays clean. That's something that, you know, I talked about last time, it seemed to be kind of lacking. And then, you know, spend time with her so that my dad has a chance to get out and stuff. So the last couple times I've been over there, though, we played a little bit of gin, which is a little difficult for her, but it distracted her quite a bit from her foot and her knee and the braces and all that's going on with her. It distracted her quite a bit, and she had a hard time with it. You know, I had to keep reminding her, no, you have to, you know, draw first, then discard, because she just kept wanting to discard all her cards, and then she would get confused whether or not she was going to win or not, or what she was looking for, and then she set her numbers up in like reverse order, which was weird for me to look at, and, you know, instead of it reading from right to left like a book 1, 2, 3, 4, it would read 4, 3, 2, 1, which was kind of weird. But I don't know if that's just the way that she's always done that, but it seemed a little backwards to me, but still fun. We also brought Yahtzee over there because Yahtzee was something that she could do, and we could kind of, excuse me, I have a frog. I have a frog in my throat. I'll just put him right there. No, Yahtzee was something that I felt like she could do without having to really think a whole lot, but it could be something that would distract her. Like, she didn't have to know a lot of rules to play Yahtzee, just roll dice, and I can help her figure out what she's supposed to need. The other thing I worked with her on when I was over there last was she used to like to do those Sudoku puzzles on her phone, and she had one set up, and we actually worked through it together. So she had an okay time figuring out, you know, when the numbers, when it was pretty clear what the number was supposed to be in the little boxes. But when it was a little bit more abstract and you had to kind of work through those, we kind of had to work through them together. And that was good, though. So I think what I'll do is try to do that more with her. I'll also have this crossword puzzle book. I'm going to bring that over too. She liked to do those a lot growing up. I don't know if she'll be able to do them very well, but if I work with her on them, maybe then I'm horrible at them. But I know she knows a lot of that stuff, or she did at one point, so maybe it will help her kind of work through that. So we'll see. Those are some of my ideas, at least for the next few visits and things like that. I will see them probably a little bit today, definitely tomorrow, and a little bit on Wednesday afternoon as well. So, and she has an appointment on Friday to have her ankle looked at again to see how well she's healing, and maybe we can get out of the boot and move on to something a little bit more like a after surgery shoe or something like that. So I think she's healing okay, though. It seemed like they've already taken the gigantic brace off her leg and put a regular like knee brace sleeve on the one side. So that's been good. And yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. So anyway, that's all, guys. That's all I got today. Thanks so much for sharing a little bit of your time with me. Don't forget, I need a name for this sweater. So head on over to the Ravelry group, Ravelry group page, and put in your suggestions. Let me know also if you want to test knit it. And I will pick 2 winners from that thread. One for if I like one for the name that I like the best, and one for random. And I'll show you guys the prizes all next time. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.